Alright, we're gonna try to get to the first main mission today. We'll see how it goes. Probably... Well, we'll definitely try to, explore the rest of the systems as we can, but then we'll go and get Liara. So that's the goal for today. Pretty sure yeah, I went there. Oh, yeah, first we're gonna talk to Tali. And probably the rest of the crew. Because we got a bunch of stuff we did. And we gotta introduce ourselves, technically, to Garrus, Rex, and Tali. And a little bit of Kaden, actually.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your
I
opinion
see how
on the
it
last
is.
mission?
Okay.
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
I'll read that codex entry in a second. Dr. Chakwas.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
I think we
I should
already...
go.
Goodbye,
Yeah, we
Commander.
already asked her. To bottom deck it is. Then we can talk to Joker. Joker is a pretty good character. If Rex and another character we'll see later isn't in this game, Joker would definitely be my favorite character.
Commander, nice work out there. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Sorry.
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Yeah. And also, at least the problem is just when we have Earth. Not when we have... There's like 20 other main species that we have to worry about. Probably a bunch of others that are smaller and not talked about in the series, but we always have changes in laws because of state and federal changes. But in space, you're gonna have to do a lot more, and you're gonna accommodate not only yourself but other people. So laws and taxes and stuff like that is just gonna be even worse. So, yeah, true.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
Yeah, it's a tough decision.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
Yeah, like I've probably said it before. Sometimes you need that, you know, rogue vigilante, gunslinger guy that doesn't have to entirely adhere to the rules, because a lot of rules are bad. Especially when you see stuff like, if you've ever watched Star Wars with Palpatine. It's just not good, because then you have situations where you can't do anything because the law keeps you from stopping the bad guy.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the
That's
job
true,
done
too.
right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
Commander, you have a minute to talk?
Is this duty-related, Chief?
No, sir. Well, maybe. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
And we got the racism. Awesome. Because they're not alliance.
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies. We, humanity, I mean, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
Yeah, we need
Standing
them.
up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
I don't think we should turn down allies. I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As noble as the Council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
I don't see that as inevitable.
Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human.
I don't know
It's
about
not
that.
racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
These seem like deeply held beliefs, Williams. What made you think this way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
Because it is.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, sir. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
You're lucky. I lost my family on Mindoir. Are you related to anyone I'd have heard of?
Couldn't say, Commander. I read about Mindoir. The Alliance screwed the pooch on that one. Should have had a bigger garrison. Is that why you're out here? To take the fight to the pirates?
I don't see an option on here. If I joined the space military, I'd do it to help people, not just to fight pirates. Even though that sounds kind of cool.
Mainly I wanted to serve. Protect the Alliance, save lives, you know.
That's kind of close.
Glad to hear it. I'd hate to think you were out here for a free college education.
If I served, I wouldn't really see myself as there trying to be a soldier. I'd be there trying to help people. There's a difference to me. Because a soldier goes there just basically to kill people and also be cannon fodder.
All right. I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're going to have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
I'm not asking that.
I don't think kissing Turians will be necessary.
You never know, Commander.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit?
Yes, sir.
That's
If I had
fair.
been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
We never trained to fight synthetics. The Geth haven't gone beyond the Veil in 3 centuries.
Our training's supposed to make us able to adapt. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
What's your opinion on the last one?
No offense, I appreciate
We came as...
If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush. Our training, I'll make sure it doesn't.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, sir.
And we get to talk to Rex,
Shepard,
the best
what
character.
can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogan lived for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
Big deal. I don't want to get smacked by a Krogan.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
Yeah.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Yeah, the Krogan are a little...
I was just making conversation. I wasn't
messed up.
trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Mm-hmm.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details.
We don't got
They
any
need
on
it.
board.
All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Yeah, because they have kind of good reason, because a lot of Krogan are bloodthirsty. There's a good few, you know, that want to try to make differences and try to come back from the weeds as it is.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
We do eventually meet a scientist, Krogan, but he's not the scientist we think of, like a doctor. He's more just makes more weapons for them so they can blow
Rex.
each other up,
Shepard.
which that's always fun.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tali? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Yeah, now we can learn about
Fill
the
me in on
Normandy.
the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation, too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself, with no emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat, cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Makes sense.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on. Probably the fastest vessel ever designed. She's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Yep.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
So basically, we got the most advanced ship in the galaxy. For now.
Shepard, I need to talk to you. It's important.
Sure.
Is something wrong?
You know the data you took from those Geth control nodes? The information you uploaded to Alliance Control? I want a copy of it.
That's why I came down here, so... Yeah, sure.
You want to bring this data back to the migrant fleet?
Those files have information that could be vital to our efforts to understand the Geth. It could be the key to helping us reclaim our homeworld.
If I give you this data, your pilgrimage is over. You'll go back to your own people.
Not right away. I'll stay with you as long as it takes to stop Saren. But my people need this.
You think you can use this information to destroy your enemy?
Not right away. We will need to study it. It could take years, but it will give us new insight into how the Geth have changed and evolved over the past centuries.
Here you go.
Go ahead. Make a copy.
My people, I owe you a great debt. One I can never repay. The only thing I can offer in return is what you already have. My solemn promise to stay with you until Saren and his Geth armies are defeated.
I never wanted anything more.
Thank you, Shepard.
Let's go, Tali.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
Yeah, so that thing we did where we gave her the data, it's basically a personal quest. Pretty sure everyone gets a personal quest. I'd have to, it's been a while, but yeah, everyone gets at least one personal quest, so we got hers done. We don't gotta worry about it anymore. So, yeah.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
300
I
years.
can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Keeps everyone alive.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That happens here in the real world.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts.
That's
it's a
fair.
safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Yeah, we can give you whatever, the chance to do whatever you want, but once you do it, you're out.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
This game's trying to warn us. This was made in, I think, 2005, maybe a little bit before. Tried to warn us about AI. We didn't listen.
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So these things, when they're out on their like little shells that we kill, the bad Geth, those guys are kind of dumb. They might have one, maybe more, but it's usually one program per body. And if you separate it to just having one, they're very dumb. But the more and more that get together, the smarter and more strategic they become.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
Yeah, so the closer they are, the less animalistic they become.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
I can understand why.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
There's 3 things you could have done to prevent this, which we're not doing at all. We're going full steam ahead, ChatGPT and all that. It gets smarter every time people interact with it, and they use it all the time because kids in school don't know how to use their brain for homework, so they use AI and all that. So it's getting smarter and smarter, and we're getting more dependent. So there was, in my mind, 3 ways we could avoid this, which we haven't been doing. First one is just, if we had the idea of AI, just don't make it. But if you have an idea of doing something, you might not do it, but someone else will. The second option is kill it while it's still weak. You know, like cut it off, unplug it. Do something before, you can't unplug it. You don't know where the off switch is. And the third option, obviously, is if you want to make AI and you actually believe it can make humanity better, which it can on this one instance, if we try to use it as a partner and not as a tool. Because if we just use AI as a tool and it gets smarter and we become more dependent, it's just going to see us as weak and basically like bugs, and it's going to want to exterminate us, Terminator style. Probably take all of our weapons that are automatic nowadays and turn it against us. Our drones, our nukes. Some guns even do it. Yeah. But we're not. Sorry. Yeah, they defended themselves
fighting for their survival
at that point.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exiled, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
I don't know if
We
I'd
made a
classify
mistake when
them
we
as
created the
species,
Geth
though.
in the first place. But we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
This is true, but that's probably... They probably went into hiding and kept everyone away and kills everyone who tries to get near because they're just trying to do their own thing and they don't want us to interfere.
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
They joined because of this Reaper that supposedly Saren has.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about
what?
I think that's everything. Yep.
See you later.
Alright, we'll go into Codex now. After talking to mostly everyone on the ship, there's only one person we got to talk to left.
Larger warships are generally classified in one of 4 weights. Frigates are small, fast ships used for scouting and screening of larger vessels. Frigates often operate in wolf pack flotillas. Cruisers are middleweight combatants, faster than dreadnoughts and more heavily armed than frigates. Cruisers are the standard patrol unit and often lead frigate flotillas. Dreadnoughts are kilometer-long capital ships mounting heavy, long-range firepower. They are only deployed for the most vital missions. Carriers are dreadnought-sized vessels that also carry large numbers of fighters. Smaller vessels are almost exclusively used in a support role to the warships during combat. Fighters are one-man craft used to perform close-range attacks on enemy ships. Interceptors are one-man craft optimized for destroying opposing fighters. The Normandy is a prototype starship developed by the Human Systems Alliance with the assistance of the Citadel Council. It is optimized for scouting and reconnaissance missions in unstable regions using state-of-the-art stealth technology. For most ships, the heat generated through standard operations is easily detectable against the absolute zero background of space. The Normandy, however, is able to temporarily sink this heat within the hull. Combined with refrigeration of the exterior hull, the ship can travel undetected for hours or drift passively for days of covert observation. This is not without risk. The stored heat must eventually be radiated, or it will build to levels capable of cooking the crew alive. Another component of the stealth system is the Normandy's revolutionary Tantalus drive, a Mass Effect core twice the standard size. The Tantalus drive generates mass concentrations that the Normandy falls into, allowing it to move without the use of heat-emitting thrusters.
Oh, and we also got technology.
An artificial intelligence is a self-aware computing system capable of learning and independent decision-making. Creation of a conscious AI requires adaptive code, a slow, expensive education, and a specialized quantum computer called a blue box. An AI cannot be transmitted across a communication channel or computer network. Without its blue box, an AI is no more than data files. Loading these files into a new blue box will create a new personality, as variations in the quantum hardware and runtime results create unpredictable variations. The Geth serve as a cautionary tale against the dangers of rogue AI, and in Citadel space, they are technically illegal. Advocacy groups argue, however, that an AI is a living, conscious entity, deserving the same rights as organics. They argue that continued use of the term artificial is institutionalized racism on the part of organic life. The term synthetic is considered the politically correct alternative.
That's the same thing, though. Anyway, yeah, that's also another debate. If once they get to, you know, being self-aware, are they an independent entity, a living person? I'm not sure about that one. I would say no, because they're technically not alive and they are just complex machines, but that's just my take on that. I think I haven't read this one. The Genophage bioweapon was created to end the Krogan rebellions from the start. The Krogans had overwhelmed the Council. Only timely first contact with the Turians saved the Council races. The Turians fought the Krogan to a standstill, but sheer weight of Krogan numbers indicated the war was not to be won through conventional means. The Turians collaborated with the Solarians to genetically engineer a counter to the rapid breeding of the Krogan. The Genophage virus gained the energy to replicate by eating key genetic sequences. Every cell in every Krogan had to be altered for the weapon to be foolproof. Otherwise, the Krogan could have used gene therapy to fix the affected tissues. Once a Genophage strain could find no more genes to eat, it would starve and die, limiting spin-off mutation and contamination. This created genetic flaw is hereditary. The Solarians believed the Genophage would be used as a deterrent, a position the Turians viewed as naive. Once the project was complete, the Turians mass-produced and deployed it. The Krogan homeworld, their colonies, and all occupied worlds were infected. The resulting mutation made only 1 in 1,000 Krogan pregnancies carry to term. It did not reduce fertility, but offspring viability. The rare females able to carry children to term became prizes for the Krogan warlords fought brutal wars over. The Krogan are a shadow of their former glory. While the rebellions took place centuries ago, they are constantly reminded of the horror of the genophage and of their inability to counter it. The release of the genophage is still controversial, bitterly debated in many circles. Quarian economy. The migrant fleet has little economic base, operating in a state of perpetual hand-to-mouth. While Quarian ships include light manufacturing and assembly plants, they lack heavy industries such as refining and shipbuilding. The fleet has tankers for water purification and oxygen cracking, but the space-intensive nature of agriculture limits food production. A single disaster could destroy the fragile balance. The Quarians earn income in creative ways because the government is obliged to provide food, water, air, and medical support for every individual. The Conclave strategically determines the course of the fleet to bring in resources and income. A species who suspects the migrant fleet is heading towards their space often offers a gift of surplus starships, fuel, and resources to convince the Conclave to alter course. As the fleet passes through a system, swarms of mining vessels work over asteroids for metals and siliceous materials and cometary bodies for water, ice, and organics. Quarian miners are adept at locating and strip mining space-borne resources. These sparks conflict with corporations already working the system. Large mining concerns spend millions on lobbyists and public relations portraying the Quarians as locusts, devouring the resources of a system before moving on. The greatest asset of the Quarians is their rarefied skills. Most are experienced miners due to their life of perpetual salvage and repair. They are skilled engineers and technicians. More than once, the very corporations that lobby against the Quarians have made backroom deals with the fleet, arranging for skilled Quarians to fill space engineering jobs that other species would demand higher wages for. Quarians are widely hated among the working classes. The Quarians are coming to take our jobs as a common response to the fleet's approach. We got their government. Due to the Quarians' precarious existence and the need to enforce strict rationing, government is somewhat autocratic. The migrant fleet's operations are directed by the Admiralty, a board of 5 military officers who are advised by a legislative body called the Conclave. Each vessel in the fleet has the right to send representatives to the Conclave aboard the flagship. The number of representatives is based on the crew size. Larger clans with bigger ships and more votes form the cores of political blocs. Opposition comes from the Outriders coalition, with delegates from thousands of smaller ships. The Admiralty defers to the Conclave's decision in most circumstances. However, if all 5 members agree that a Conclave decision jeopardizes the survival of the fleet and cannot get the Conclave to address their concerns, they have the right to summarily overturn the legislative decision. After the Admiralty uses this extraordinary power, they must resign. If the Admiralty does not step down after using their veto, the rest of the military is obliged to arrest them. Each ship captain has authority over his vessel, but is advised by an elected civilian council, just as the Admiralty is advised by the Conclave. This relationship may range from cooperation to polite tolerance to outright hostility, but any captain who overrules his council without good reason is relieved of command by the Admiralty. Most Quarian ships are owned by clans who pool their resources to purchase used vessels from private sellers. Large ships are prestigious for big, rich clans, but a small ship means status for a small clan with enough personal wealth to afford a private vessel. Clan vessel captains are not subject to dismissal by the Admiralty. Abusive captains are a family problem if they do not disrupt the operations of the fleet. And we got the Migrant Fleet. The Migrant Fleet is the largest concentration of starfaring vessels in the galaxy, sprawling across millions of kilometers. It can take days for the entire fleet to pass through a mass relay. When the Quarians fled their homeworld, the fleet was a motley aggregation of freighters, shuttles, industrial vessels, and the odd warship. After 3 centuries, all have been modified to support larger crews as comfortably as possible. As the Quarians achieved stability, they began weeding out the ships least suitable for long-term habitation, selling them, and pooling the money to buy larger and more space-worthy hulls. This process is ongoing as vessels wear out and break down. While some ships enjoy dedicated cabins with full privacy and sanitary facilities, many more are former freighters whose cargo bays and containers are pressurized and divided into family spaces using simple metal cubicle bulkheads. The Quarians enliven these austere spaces with colorful quilts and tapestries, which also help muffle sound. The day-to-day operations of the fleet, traffic control, station keeping, supply distribution, and so on, are under military jurisdiction. Though ship captains have the authority to deviate from their assigned positions and may leave the fleet at any time, they are assumed to do so at their own risk. As the Migrant Fleet moves around the galaxy, many ships split off to pursue individual goals, returning days or years later. And we got crew considerations for starships. Cabins give each individual 10 cubic meters of space. On larger vessels, private rooms are common. As ships get smaller, the number of crew packed into a single wardroom increases. Asari prefers shared spaces even on large vessels, while Krogan territorial instincts make it impossible for them to cohabitate even on the smallest ships. On smaller vessels, hot bunking is the norm. Crew members assigned to different watches share the same bunk. When one gets off duty, he wakes up the person in the bunk while that crewman is on duty. The first gets back his rack time. Spacecraft compartments can be isolated by airtight doors in case of decompression. The cinematic vision of explosive decompression is fiction. Hold compartments either take enough damage that occupants are killed instantly, or leak slowly enough that they are able to reach protective gear. Compartments are equipped with emergency life support apparatus, fireproof plastic bubbles with air bottles. Small when stowed, Elsa comfortably accommodate one individual inflated. Damage control procedure cuts off ventilation to burning compartments. Without oxygen to consume, fires die in seconds. The compartment is repressurized afterwards for crew recovery. Mass effect fields generate an artificial gravity, or agrav, plane below the decks, preventing muscle atrophy and bone loss in 0G. Large vessels arrange their decks perpendicular to their thrust axis. The highest decks are at the bow and the lowest are at the engines. This allows a grav to work with the inertial effects of thrust. Ships that can land arrange their decks laterally so the crew can move about while the vessel is on the ground. Warships normally turn off their agrav systems during combat, reducing the heat generated by systems and increasing combat endurance. To provide a point of reference for navigating in zero-G, floors are painted a different color from the walls and ceiling. That's smart, actually. Or do I want to get rid of it? This gives me health, accuracy, and effectiveness. I'm actually going to put it towards my other powers, because I just needed unity, I think. Okay, so this way. I'll go talk to Joker, and then we'll get on our way. Oh, Joker.
Commander, something you need?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet, if you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
I'm sorry, Joker. I didn't even know you were sick.
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic. But I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though. I can do my job as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable.
Whatever you want, Commander.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
I was just thinking how much you remind me of Santa Claus.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy. Even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
I think that's a real thing, Vrolik syndrome. Just don't ask me to dance unless you like the sound of snapping shin bones. Okay, now we're gonna get on our way. We just gotta get these 4 and then we'll go get Liara.
Commander, incoming signal from 5th Fleet HQ on the Citadel.
Commander Shepard, something uncomfortable has just come up. In the First Contact War, we fired a lot of espionage probes into Turian space. We just received a mission complete burst from one of them.
Yeah.
Where's it been in the meantime?
No idea. Lost in transit. These probes were built in a hurry after First Contact.
What makes this uncomfortable?
When these probes were launched, we didn't have any idea who we were fighting. We didn't want to risk aliens examining our technology. The probe has a demo nuke built in. A 20-kiloton tactical fusion warhead. About equal to the bomb dropped on Hiroshima back in the 20th. If somebody finds that probe, tampers with it, you don't need me to finish, Commander.
Shouldn't a bomb disposal unit be sent for this? We don't have anyone trained in that.
I know. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important. These probes have been classified for 26 years. The Council will call fusion bomb booby traps dangerous and irresponsible. The Alliance would face censure if they find this probe. I'm asking you because the Normandy can get on site quickly and quietly. It's in the Voyager cluster.
It's in the Voyager cluster? That's the opposite side of the Alliance from Turian space. How did it get there?
I don't know. It's possible someone recovered it safely and brought it there. It's also possible it got very badly lost. It could have been wandering the relay network since the war.
We'll get on it immediately, Admiral. And we'll be discreet.
I appreciate that, Commander. Good luck.
That's not what I asked, but okay.
Fifth Fleet out.
Yeah, we want you to go fix our problem because we sent nukes out. We got a concentration of nitrogen. While scanning the planet Cybin, you discovered a large mine grid in geosynchronous orbit. With help from Navigator Presley, your recon team recovered a small unmanned probe marked with the Quadim outpost insignia. Gotta deposit polonium. There you go. So if we're dealing with Alliance bombs, probably send the Alliance people with me. Alrighty. Let's go this way, and then we'll loop around to there. Geez, I haven't leveled up Caden. Let's put, yeah, lift. I'll give you one in stasis, but I'm probably not going to use it. Give you max in that. And sniper rifles. And soldier. Okay. I'll give it to her. I'm probably not going to use a shotgun, so... I mean, I can be deadly with a pistol. Get rid of 8 shields for 14 damage protection. Okay. There. Incendiary rounds and a combat scanner. Give you cryo and stability. Polonium and stability. Shredder, and then, sure. Proton, Unreal, Cryo, and Heatsink. Chemical, and Heatsink. No, you probably... Well, I don't know if they have to worry about overheating their guns, but maybe. Yeah, that. Now let me check my grenades. No. Okay. Just super cool, you get a tank that actually can move. Something over here that is not on the map. Brushing away the carbonization on the door of the contra-gravity speeder, you see the Nizo brand name. Judging by the charring, the wreckage has been here since the star's last variable peak. The corpse is wearing the remains of an expensive suit and what appears to be melted antique aviator goggles. So what, is that supposed to be like Amelia Earhart? This body is a long way from anything and appears to have been here for quite some time. On the body is a book of drawings, including one of the Siglar outpost insignia. This over here. Uh-oh.
Mine shaft. That's the source of the...
Smells like ambush, Commander.
I agree. This thing didn't crash. Somebody moved it here.
They may not know what they have. Let's find it before they set it off.
Aye, aye.
That's fine. Okay, you get that out. I don't know if you have something special for yours, but maybe a shotgun? He does not have weapons training. Come out with your hands up. FBI, open up. I don't think I saw anything.
What the hell? Shepard, at last.
Have we met?
My name is Ilanos Halliot. I doubt you know it. Who do you think runs the Terminus clan, Shepard, huh? Thousands of pirates, slavers, criminals of every stripe?
In most criminal organizations, it's the one who's recognized as the most successful.
That's correct. The one who kills the most men, seizes the most ships, pillages the most colonies. 3 years ago, I was the strongest. I used my influence to assemble a fleet. We would drive your kind out of the Verge.
Womp womp.
You're the one behind the attack on Elysium.
I was the motivator, the instigator, the one who promised glory and riches for sacking the largest human colony in the cluster. The one blamed when it failed. Failed! I was ruined when your kind held against the Blitz. What better way to recover my reputation than by eliminating the first human Spectre?
It doesn't have to be like this, Halliot.
Empty words from a dead man. Goodbye, Shepard.
What do we do now, Commander?
We find a way out. Someone up there needs my boot up his ass. See if there's anything in here we can use.
also are just gonna smash these guys in range because they're not flying up too far to me. Oh, there's a sniper. I didn't see that one. Great. Might have to reset everything. Yep. Oh my word. Whoops. I should have... That was on me. I should have auto-saved just in case. That's why you want to get rid of the snipers. They can one-shot you. Not fun. Come on. Give it a second. There's no way. Come on. There you go. Wait, do I gotta also do all this again? Yeah, I do. My word. Yeah, it's just a little bit better. Never mind. Gave her that. I took this one. Okay, and then this I gave myself incendiary rounds, and this she had polonium, and this. That and I won't do the others. I think that's all good. Okay.
Heading out.
And then the last one is over. Oh, yeah, there's debris, I forgot.
Heading to position.
And we'll go around. Come on. Almost there. Hey, buddy. Pretty. Come here, bud. Sorry. No.
Mine shaft. That's the source of the signal.
Smells like ambush, Commander.
I agree. This thing didn't crash. Somebody moved it here.
They may not know what they have.
Aye, aye.
Like, no one sees the explosives, I guess. Hi. Oh, you good boy. They got me a gun.
Shepard, at last.
Have we met?
My name is Ilanos Haliat. I doubt you know it. Who do you think runs the Terminus clan, Shepard, huh? Thousands of pirates, slavers, criminals of
Most criminal organizations.
That's correct. 3 years ago, I was the strongest. I used my influence to assemble a fleet. We were driving.
You're the one behind the attack.
I was the motive, the one blamed. I was ruined when your kind held against the Blitz.
My crew will come for me.
Let them. We'll be ready. An Alliance warship would make a fine prize. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, the ores here are laced with heavy metals. I'm afraid your suit radios aren't powerful enough to transmit out.
You'll see me again, Halliot. Count on it.
I rather doubt that. Goodbye, Shepard.
What do we do now, Commander?
We find a way out. Someone up there needs my boot up his ass. See if there's anything in here we can use.
Whoops. It's fine. Yeah, and those are actually going that slow. I wish it was faster. Oh my god. There you go. I don't know if it's just the, what's it called? There's like an effect in games where like when you shrink down, say you're crouching and stuff, it seems like you're going faster than you actually are just because of it. Maybe I can make my way down to the tank. Halliot went through a lot of trouble to draw you here. A pity it ended like this, for him at least. Now that you're above ground, your suit radio has re-established connection with the Normandy. Time to get the hell out of here. Close. There you go. Alright, I think we're good here. You're welcome, by the way, Hackett. We got 2 systems. Let's go Farinata.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Commander, we've got a situation that requires your expertise. A group of fanatical biotics have kidnapped the chairman of the Parliament Subcommittee on Transhuman Studies. Their freighter sustained damage and is dead in space. Get in there and take them down.
What kind of resistance should I expect?
The biotics were seen loading equipment into the freighter. Expect traps and combat drones. Nothing you can't handle.
What are the biotics asking for?
They're L2 biotics, and most of them are suffering major side effects from the implants. The subcommittee denied a request for reparations to all L2 biotics. Apparently they'd like the chairman to reconsider.
What's the priority on saving the chairman?
Saving him would be my preference, but we must make it clear that these tactics don't work, Commander. Your top priority is to neutralize the biotics.
Understood, Admiral. I'll see what I can do.
I appreciate you taking the time, Commander. I'm sending you the last known coordinates of the freighter. Good luck. Fifth Fleet out.
There's always stuff in the asteroid belts. Thorium. Scans on Juntama revealed a derelict freighter in mid-stage orbital decay. Your salvage team boarded the vessel and determined it had been used by raiders. There was little of value still on board, but the team did find a Prothean data disk. Right, the Ontario. The Ontario is a Kowloon-class modular conveyor of human design, configured for mixed freight and passenger hauling. It is making a hard burn for the cover of an asteroid cluster. Ooh. Caden, because he's a biotic, and maybe Rex. I do gotta talk. I gotta upgrade him. What's this do? Just a shield boost. What's wrong? Okay. Shotguns. So far you got the best one. So I'll give you that, and why not? Can I throw that guy? Carnage him or something.
Take him out! Intruders! Kill the hostage! Soft kill deployed.
Gotta make sure that doesn't happen.
Oh boy. They're juggling me. Stay still. Oh boy.
I'm ready.
Nice job, Rex. Alrighty.
See how it is? You write letters and everyone ignores you. Force is the only thing people appreciate. So how about if I kill Chairman Burns and finish this charade?
Please, I was trying to help you people.
Let's not do anything we're all going to regret.
Why not? What have we got to lose? Since the chairman here decided that we didn't get reparations, we've got nothing left to live for.
But I've changed my mind. Seeing you all, it's clear that you all deserve...
You had your chance. Some L2s are nearly crippled from side effects of the implants, but you voted against reparations.
Think about this. Burns is the one man who can help you.
Yes, if you release me, I can take another look at the reparations request.
What? We're supposed to trust you? I'm an L2 like you. Trust me. The commander can make sure that Burns follows through. Sure, you promise us freedom and say everything will be fine, but as soon as we surrender, you'll double-cross us.
I'm not promising to let you go. All I'm saying is that Burns will take another look. Right, Burns?
Absolutely. I had no idea that the L2 biotics were this desperate. If I'd known, the reparations will come.
You know.
For whatever it's worth. I promise that.
Stand down.
You're right.
There you go.
I don't want to die. Maybe something will happen this time. We surrender.
Thank you, Commander. I thought I was dead when they took me. I'll see to it that the reparations discussion is reopened. I didn't know they were so desperate.
The 5th Fleet cruiser will be by shortly to pick you and the prisoners up.
Thank you, Commander. I thought I was dead when they took me.
There's a better ways to go about this, guys, instead of trying to kill somebody. Be like, they didn't give us money when we were peaceful, they'll give us money when we kill somebody, right? No, they won't. They'll just put the foot down and you'll all die.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Thank you for dealing with the hostage situation, Commander. Chairman Burns was quite impressed by the way you resolved the situation peacefully. Your assistance above and beyond the formal duties has been noted, Commander. 5th Fleet out.
Okay. Now we're gonna go down here to Antaeus.
Commander, urgent message from Alliance Command coming in. I'll patch it through.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett from Alliance Command.
Am I the only one doing
We've got
anything?
a situation here, and you're the only one that can handle it.
Bro. I've heard that before.
What do you need, Admiral?
There's an Alliance training ground where we test weapons and technology in live fire simulations. One of the VIs we used to simulate enemy tactics in the drills is no longer responding to our override commands. It's gone rogue.
Are you telling me this computer is thinking on its own?
We're not stupid, Shepard. This is a virtual intelligence, not a true AI. It's not self-aware, and it can't access any external systems. We didn't do anything illegal here. Virtual intelligence support is critical to our military success. VIs process thousands of status reports and react in nanoseconds. No human can do that. We need you to fight your way through the training ground of the VI core and manually disable it.
Can't you disable it remotely?
Our fail-safes aren't responding. The VI operates on a closed network. It can affect any external systems, but we don't have any direct access to its processes. We could bomb it from orbit, but the damage to the facility would be catastrophic. We prefer to have someone shut down the core. Someone like you. I know Spectres answer the Council, but you're still human. You're still part of the Alliance military, and right now we need you. The VI controls all the facility's weapons, drones, and automated defenses. You're the only one that can pull this off, Shepard. Good luck.
An example of what could happen. Got uranium. You recovered a strange object orbiting Ploba. Chief Engineer Adams and Tally tried unsuccessfully to determine its origin. They did find one of Matriarch Dilla Naga's writings stored within. Got a concentration of hydrogen. So if we're going after a VI, maybe Tally. I'll take Garrus because we haven't been using him a lot. Nice. Ooh, what do you like? Assault rifles, sniper rifles. Assault training. And we'll give you hacking. And give myself charm. And throw. That and I guess stability. Sniper rifles. Okay. Another proton round, I guess. High caliber. That one looks cooler. And give you protection. this one. That's the best pistol? Okay. And I'll give you this because eventually you'll get shotguns. Nah, it's better, I think, to go up here and go this way than go that way. I don't know. Oof. Got a mineral deposit. Plutonium. How much is that we have left for this? Halfway on gases. Still kind of short on all those. You get 5 more discs. 5 more Asari writings and 7 more Turian things. And a bunch of those. Debris, but someone's here. Alrighty. Next, up here. Oh, it's not a thresher maw, is it? Okay, no, it's not. I saw a flat surface, so I'm like, uh-oh. Corner of the map with this one. Oh. Crash probes. This device is transmitting tight beam signals into geosynchronous orbit. This disrupts the survey team's GPS satellites, causing them to crash nearby. So if I disable it, they shouldn't do that anymore. Go to research base and then get that anomaly on the way out. So did those people we killed at the other debris, were they the reason that was set up, or was it something else? Got 2 things.
Nobody's been here for a while.
According to these data logs, the survey team unearthed some kind of alien technology.
We should check out the excavation site. Could be some answers there.
Alrighty. Guess we're going over here.
Cover me.
Hello? I'm here to talk about your Starship's extended warranty. Oh, they're husks. That's not good. Overload it.
Some alien technology that turned them into mindless fanatics.
Whatever they found, it's long gone now.
Oh. It's bright, whatever it is. Was that my first biotic amp? Oh my gosh. This is huge! And also our first tech tool. Okay. So these things help us with our power. This one's kind of meh. It's not as good as it could have been, but it's still okay. So this will give me 3 times as much duration, but the power will be a little bit less. But I don't really have like warp dealing damage, so it might help. It'll help them stay knocked down longer. And then Chameleon Tool. This will give us a lot more cooldown, but we have no shield or med recharge bonus. I'll take tech powers. Yeah, it'll give me for overload and my other one. Katana. I'll take this crappy one. And good pistols for Tally. Nope. There's one for me. I'll take the edge. And you can take the other edge. Or that one's a Kessler, but snipers. You might want a sniper. But you already got a pistol. Okay, never mind. Got the Mantis. Okay. Let's get through hardening. Nope. Alrighty. Oh boy, more. That accounts for all of the Exogeny survey team. They were converted to cybernetic husks by devices similar to those used by the Geth on Eden Prime. How they came to be buried on a frontier world so far from Geth territory is a mystery. So they had dragon's teeth, I guess, here.
All clear.
Yep, there's the dragon's teeth. Anything down here? More. Alrighty. We'll go see what that anomaly is and then we'll get out. Hopefully be done with this. I get the why they turned into husks part, because that's part of something that'll come up later. But what I don't get is how they got the what's it called? What they got the dragon's teeth from? Unless the Geth came here. I really do not like the thrusters on this thing. It does not work. Okay. Alrighty. 1 second. Hello. Of course. Doing Mass Effect. You're also very quiet. I don't know if it's because of the Thresher Maw or not.
How's that? Is that better?
A little bit.
A little more?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Hello?
Oh wow.
Is that good?
Yep.
We should play Siege. I have to go at 5:30.
I gotta finish this then and I'll do it.
Alright, take your time, yeah.
Just die, you're one shot.
So, why are you fighting a giant cockroach with arms?
It's a Thresher Maw, and it's because he popped up and wants to kill me.
What's a Thresher Maw?
They're from Tachanka originally, I think.
Tachanka?
Yep.
The siege operator?
No, it's what's it called?
Yeah,
Planet of the
Tachanka.
Krogan. I didn't read that. Crap.
Planet of the
Krogan.
Where does Krogan go?
You'll see if you watch my episodes.
You've already.
Oh, I don't want those. Bro.
One tap.
Alright. Let me close this out and then I'll join you.
How many followers do you have?
3. 4.
That ain't bad. For how long you stream for?
Probably 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, that ain't that bad. Twitch is weird.
What do you mean what is weird?
I said Twitch is weird.
Oh, I thought you said which is weird.
No.
Okay, let me close this out. I'll be back in a second.
Boo-doo-doo.
How do I...
There you
go. Alrighty. After that, I'm sorry I didn't get to read that part, but yeah, so I'm gonna close up, I'm gonna go back to the surface. I can do it from here. There we go. Go up to Normandy. I close up there. Sadly, I didn't get to get to my first main mission in this one, but I will definitely next time because we have 2 or 3 stops, and then we go to the first one, which will be Liara. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching. This will be on the YouTube channel in a few days. So, if you want to see everything, you can watch there. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode.